What's up, everybody? We're back for another episode of Two in the Cooler. No guest today. It's just the original two brothers, two viewpoints, two in the cooler.
Two in the cooler. Yeah.
They know the saying.
Yeah. Just glad to be back. Another week in the office, as they say, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we're recording a little later in the day than we typically do because you mentioned it in the last episode, but you went down.
Did I really?
Yeah, you mentioned that you said that you were like heading down to Georgia with Metzler.
Yeah. South of the Mason-Dixon. I was
know.
there. Just
You're
got
back now. Now you've been out there. You've been out into the world.
I've been out into the world.
What's it like out there?
It's not like it is here.
Really? Because when did
Yeah. I went to a bar last night.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like a bar. It was like a bar and grill bar. Sat at the bar and had dinner though, and 2 beers.
Okay.
Yeah, in a restaurant. So.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was. Not gonna say it was easy, Andy. But no. So yeah. So we left Monday morning at about 5 a.m. And then we got there sometime around 6, I think, on Monday night. And then we were supposed to be up at 7 on Tuesday to be where we need to be for Metzler's CDL test by 7:30 because you're supposed to take it at 7:45.
Okay.
Well, it was kind of a gray area, so now I'll just get right into it. So the drive down, the drive down was whatever. It was 13 hours in the car, whatever. I don't think anything too extraordinary happened on the way down. So we get there, wake up to get in the car. So we go to the DMV. First of all, Dalton, Georgia, DMV double wide trailer. Like, it's not a real building. It's just a nice,
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's where the DMV is housed?
Yeah. What did you think? I was just talking about a double wide trailer?
Yeah, I was like,
No.
I just thought I don't know, there was a double wide trailer at the DMV. Like, that sounds
No,
reasonable.
the DMV is a double wide trailer. And the old DMV is just set a little bit in front, like closer to the street than the new DMV. And it's just a single. Just a straight up. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Trailer.
Those are buildings. Those count as full-on buildings down there.
So he was supposed to take the exam. 7:45 they had to be there by. There was 5 people like from his class taking it. So, and he kind of told me this beforehand. Their time is all 7:45.
Right.
So you get there and then you're either like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and you pretty much sit there and wait. Good thing being that when you take your CDL test, it's 4 or 5 parts, something, I don't know. Whoops, I just dropped my pen. And they're all over the board, like different things. But if you pass the first 3, then you don't have to retake any of the other ones. You only have to take the part that you failed. So the only part that Metzler, he didn't even fail it. He just never, because of the whole graduation thing, getting home, he still had one part it's whatever.
Okay.
So he had to go back down there and take one part. So did most of the kids in his class. And so he goes. There's 5 kids from his class that have to take the test. So they all wait in line. All their times are 7:45, and 1 goes, 2 goes, 3 goes, 4 goes, 5 goes. You find out as you get there. So we get there, we're there, whatever. He's number 3, so not that bad. And the good thing is that you take it in parts. So as long as you pass the first 3 parts, the stuff in order, as you take them, then you don't ever have to take the first 3 parts again. Just as you continue to take your parts, you only have to take the parts that are left. So the only part Metzler had left was the 5th part. So he only had the road test because there's pre-check inspection, brake inspection, and then you have to do backing, how to back up a trailer. Then you have to do alley docking and parallel parking, and then the last part is the road test. It's a half hour long. So the hopes was that most of the people also didn't have to do that. So the first guy, of course, and we were it was a little backed up, probably 8:10 I would say he started. First guy has to do the whole thing. He has to do all, I don't even know if it's 5, maybe it's 4 parts, whatever. But he has to do every part. So and you can watch him. All the other cars that are here to take the CDL are sitting in this parking lot just watching him. Pressure has to be immense for this guy. So he gets through
wow.
he's going through the parts, and he gets to the part where he goes to get in the truck, and for whatever reason, truck doesn't start.
Oh.
Like not user error. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
So long story short, they had to call the school, like their lineman school. I
Yeah.
said like.
Oh my god. I wouldn't worry about it.
And so the lineman school is about 50 to an hour away from this DMV because the lineman school is in Trenton, DMV is in Dalton. Anyway, truck. So they have to call the lineman school, get like their instructor that helps them learn how to take the CDL to drive another truck. Because another story, not to keep interrupting, but
No, you're only interrupting yourself.
Yeah, CDL, to take your CDL, I was calling it BYOT, BYOR, bring your own rig, because the Dalton doesn't supply a truck for you, so the school supplies their trucks, but other people, like not including the members of their school, I said like again, were showing up to take their CDL test, and they would have to they'd have to rent trucks. Yeah. So you'd see full blown giant semi trucks driving into this parking lot while they were taking theirs, and it was like a 38-foot flatbed on the back of a truck. So it's still a huge truck, but it's a lot different than a giant semi truck. But they only have to do it so they can drive bucket trucks as linemen, whatever. We won't get into all that.
Okay.
So truck breaks down. They call this guy. He's like, all right, so you got to figure he's got to get to the school, get the truck there, all that. Then they have to switch the trailer that's on the one truck to the other truck. So now it's like super backed up. It's like 11 o'clock now. We're still sitting there in the parking lot.
Wow.
First guy hasn't even started again yet. So maybe, I would say at the earliest, it was 11:30, 11:45 before the first guy started again. And he had to do the whole test. So he had to do all this stuff. So Metzler didn't end up taking his test until almost 2 o'clock. He pulled back in at 2:30, and it's about a half-hour drive. So almost 2 o'clock is when he got to go in the truck. And by that point, we'd already been sitting in that parking lot in the truck since 7:30 a.m. So we'd been in the truck for, 7 hours already?
Wow.
And then we were looking at a 13-hour ride home in front of us, leaving at probably 3 o'clock. So you're not getting home until, I don't even know the math on that. I don't even have the mental capacity. 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe?
Yeah,
3 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
3 a.m.
So we were like, we have to just stay another night. So we did. We stayed another night.
Where are you staying? Where were you staying? Did they have a place, or did you guys have a hotel?
Hotel.
Okay.
So we were staying Dalton. Everybody was like, Dalton, Georgia. Like, oh, it's so like. But the area we were in was like 1 square mile, just an absolute hotbed.
Really?
The hotel was nice. It was like being in a hotel in Florida where there's no indoor hallways. Everything's outside.
Cool.
They had a full basketball court there. We couldn't use it because they didn't have basketball. But It was beautiful. There was every fast food and restaurant you could think of. So we had Steak and Shake. We had Chick-fil-A.
That was exactly what I was going to say. My
Taco
first
Bell.
thing was I was going to say Steak and Shake.
They had every restaurant just in this 1 square mile. And then the second we left it, like on our way to DMV, middle of the sticks. Houses falling over. Double wide trailers were the lap of luxury.
Wow.
It was yeah.
Wow. Washing machines in the yard, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the first time I actually saw that. I couldn't believe that was actually something that's done. I thought that was like a joke.
I watched Django Unchained for the first time last night too. And that's what that made me think of. There's the one scene where they're sitting around the fire and he's hanging. I don't even know the guy's name, the white guy. He's hanging his clothes up like he was doing his laundry.
Christoph Waltz. You've never seen Django Unchained before?
Never the whole thing. I've seen parts of it. It's a long movie, 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, it is long. It's a great movie though. That's my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. I'll never forget that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of story that happened in Georgia. I don't want to run the listeners' ears off with me talking. You got anything to fill in before I continue on my Georgia story?
I want to hear. I want to hear more about Georgia.
Yeah,
I mean, I did watch.
Anything.
We talked a little about that the Michael Jordan documentary last week. I finally was able to watch it. I didn't think I was going to be able to watch all 4 parts before the podcast.
Did you?
Yeah, I just finished. I watched the fourth one today.
I didn't end up finishing it. We had to leave so early on Monday morning that I didn't watch it on Sunday night. I
Oh,
got in bed at
really?
like 9 o'clock, and then yeah. So
So
I'm
you've only
actually
seen the first two parts?
yeah. I
Oh
mean,
man.
yeah. Can we save it? I know I said I want to talk about it on this episode, but I want to be caught up when we talk about it
Okay.
because I
All
don't
right.
want, you know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
kind of know. Was it the third episode's the Allen Iverson episode or something like that? Right?
No, no, no. They haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh,
They kind
I
of go
thought I
back,
heard something.
talk a lot. They talk. Yeah, some AI was talking about something, but his episodes, I don't know how and if he's going to be in it or whatever. I just saw him like a quote of his online,
Okay.
but he hasn't been in it as of yet.
Okay. I thought I saw something. Maybe I was thinking this. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I don't know, but sorry, my brain's all over the place. I've been in the car
Yeah,
for
I
so
know. You
long.
literally like just got
Yeah.
back and hopped on the podcast. So,
A- Hey,
you know,
anything for the listeners, though.
no
That's the thing.
worries.
This episode has to come out on time. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean?
That's
I'll
right.
do anything for you folk. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'll dip back in.
Yeah, go because
I'll,
you. I mean, you've been out. I said it already, but you've
I know I made it into
been
the
out
world.
into the world, and I have no idea what that's.
So I'll try to keep
Man.
it somewhat short-winded. So it was beautiful there. That's the thing, is it was like 80 degrees and sunny the whole time we were there.
Man.
So we're like, it's like 3 o'clock, and we're like, oh no, we have to stay in sunny Georgia. We don't have to hop back in the car. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were not. It wasn't the worst thing that could have happened to us. So, like any, two 21-year-old kids would do, on our way back, Metzler just passed the CDL, stopped at the gas station, bought a case of beer, and we sat in the bed of his truck in the hotel parking lot, which we also did the night before, by the way.
Yeah.
Just like one or two casuals. But then we sat in the bed of the truck, 80 degrees, sunny. I had my shirt off. I was sweating. I thought I was getting sunburned. I had to go back inside for a little bit because I thought I was going to get too sunburnt. And then once the sun cooled down, we went back out, hung out in the truck a little bit more, and then
Man, just that, like just the
yeah,
possibility of getting a sunburn. I mean, I could get a sunburn in the middle of winter,
Yeah.
honestly, but for
Yeah.
most people, man,
yeah,
it's been a
it
long
was
time.
hot. Like, and I didn't bring a single T-shirt just because I knew it was gonna be warm, but I figured
Right.
down and back, the whole extra day thing kind of just
Okay.
wasn't planned, and it just opened up like possibility for we had nothing to do except for go to sleep eventually so that we could wake up and get on the road again in the morning.
Uh-huh.
So it all started, we saw a sign on the Outback Steakhouse that was right next to our hotel. So there's this huge plaza right next to our hotel with all this stuff. Like the front of it was the Chick-fil-A and stuff like that, and then the back of it had some restaurants. So the Outback had a sign on it that said dining room now open. So when we first saw it, we were like, oh, maybe the restaurant itself just opened and they just never took down the sign. We didn't know the rules of what was going on in Georgia, because as to that point, even on the whole way down, we stopped at McDonald's. I'm like, hey, driving through, I'm like, hey, can we use your bathroom? No.
Really?
So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So,
Yeah. Okay, never mind. That makes sense. I was thinking it was
Yeah.
like a customers only thing.
No.
But
Yeah. Because
yeah.
it was closed. But, you know what I mean? When you're in the car for 13 hours, sometimes you gotta go to the bathroom.
Man, that's
So-
something I hadn't even thought about as like a downside.
Neither did we,
of
really.
road tripping during this time.
I mean, honestly, it wasn't bad. What we would do is when we would stop for food, we would drive through and then just park in the parking lot, sit in the bed of the truck because it was beautiful and sunny. So we'd sit in the bed of the truck, eat our food, find some bushes, go to the bathroom,
Okay.
and then hop back in the truck and keep going.
I won't ask any follow-up questions.
No, it wasn't like, no, we were just, yeah. Well,
Yeah, let's skip over that.
so,
Some things people don't need.
saw the sign on the Outback. So we're like, I wonder if it's actually open.
What did the
so-
sign say?
It said dining room now open.
Okay.
But that's what I was saying, is we didn't know if it was the restaurant had just opened and maybe they put that sign up like a week before they had to close everything, and
Right.
it just was up. They didn't expect, people that were from out of town maybe to be coming.
Yeah.
So, but we're like, you know what I mean? It's beautiful out. it was a 2 minute, not even a 2 minute walk there. So we didn't want to go to Outback though, but there was this bar and grill. It was a barbecue restaurant / sports bar right behind the Outback. Can't remember the name of it, but we're like, hey, let's go check that out. So after we sat, once the sun started to go down and we got hungry, we're like, all right, let's go check that out. So we walked over there. The place was closed, not like coronavirus closed, but it had moved. It had relocated. The building it was in was for lease. But there was a restaurant right next to it called The Oyster that had its lights on.
I'm having some Police Academy flashbacks.
So yeah, so we walk up to it, and there's this loose leaf piece of paper on the door with like writing on it. So we're real close to it, trying to read the little writing. And we're reading it. It's like the government of Georgia has allowed for restaurants to be dining as long as the party's under 6. That was the gist of the message. So as we're kind of reading it, we don't know what kind of restaurant this is. We can't really see inside. We can see that there's a bar in there. And sitting at the bar is this big African-American guy waving us in like this. Come on. Like, you could almost hear him yelling. You could imagine him.
Yeah.
Big dude. Like, just in like thick Southern accent. I could picture it. Like, so we're like, at that point we were peer pressured into going to this restaurant.
Right.
Like, whatever. So we walk in, and that guy and another guy were sitting on one end of the bar. And then there's 2 guys sitting at a table back a ways from the bar. Didn't really ever come in, not contact, but didn't ever really talk to them. So anyway, we walk in and they're like, oh my God, you guys hungry? You guys thirsty? Like, sit down, like, have a drink. Everything on the menu's great, blah, blah, blah. And we kind of look at each other, and, the place was interesting looking.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what I would compare it to as far as... I initially compared it to the Wagon Wheel when I walked in, but I know you've never been in the Wagon Wheel, and I would assume that a lot of people have never been in the Wagon Wheel.
No,
you know what I'm talking about? On the boulevard.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people haven't been in it, but everybody knows it.
It was kind of like, it looked like a place where locals would go. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was definitely a local bar, but they had a food menu, and they had hand sanitizer on all over the place, like, to be pumped. So we're like, you know what, like, whatever. We're here. They're obviously not worried about it. We're not going to be able to do the same thing once we get home. We're eating at this restaurant.
Yeah.
So we sit down, and we end up, it was just bar food. I had a turkey club. Matt's had a burger. We had two beers each, and it was just nice to be in public again, talking to the bartender. And we ended up, one of the guys that we were sitting next to ended up being the guy who owned it. So we were far away from him, but we were chatting across the bar with him and about being from New York. And when you tell people you're from New York down there, everybody instantly thinks you're from New York City.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh my God. And we're like, not like thinking, there was no concern for them of the coronavirus. They didn't even.
Right.
It wasn't even really, I mean, the fast food restaurants down there weren't open but like the DMV was open. Restaurants were kind of open-ish. It was a lot less. There was no mask. We were telling them that we had to wear masks in New York, and they were like, oh my God. Like, kind of taken back by all that stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, also Dalton, Georgia, you're not near Atlanta. You know what I mean? It was in the sticks kind of thing, so that's probably also part of the reason. Who knows? Like, the closest city was probably Chattanooga.
Okay.
Which is not that far, or was not that close. It was probably 2 hours away.
Wow.
So you're pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But
yeah,
we're talking to them. So the guy that was waving us in, the big African-American guy, he was not the owner. But tomorrow was his birthday. So he was hammered.
Yeah.
And you could tell that this was a local bar because the bartender knew everybody by name. Oh, also, you can smoke in restaurants in Georgia. So that was the other thing. Cigs everywhere. Every single person in there besides me and Metzler. Chain smoking.
Whoa.
Like they were going out of style. Surprisingly, it wasn't like cloudy and super nasty smelling. Yeah. But you could tell that there was a little bit of that stale smoke smell. So I'm just, I'm giving. So I'll cut right to the chase.
Yeah. Here we go.
You could tell that this was a super local place because every single person there besides me and Metzler, at any point in time, I saw every single person in there walk behind the bar. Whether it was the phone ring or they needed a new cup, people were just walking behind the bar. You
Oh,
could do
man.
whatever you wanted in this place. And two, the guy was so drunk that the bartender was on the phone calling just all the different bar locals that weren't there. Hey, can you come pick so-and-so up? Like, can you come pick so-and-so up? Calling, and I don't remember his name, but yeah, making phone calls for him. Just trying to help the guy out. So finally, the owner's sitting there. He's got the bartender's phone connected to a Bluetooth speaker in the corner, bumping all this, like, 80s music, asking us if we know, like, all these different songs.
Yeah.
And we're just, like, just kind of eating, just enjoying being out again. Just, there was still social distancing going on, It wasn't like people were on top of each other. But so finally we leave. We walk out of the bar. The big black guy is still sitting on the bench outside of the bar. And he's like, New York! Thanks for coming. I'm glad you guys picked the right spot tonight. Hope you guys had a good time. Safe travels tomorrow. And we're like, oh, thanks, boss. Like, happy birthday. And he goes, you guys, people that aren't watching this on YouTube can't see the face he's making, but I'll do it. He goes like this. Gets a full tilt back in this bench.
Yeah.
Goes, this dude's probably 60. Big black guy.
Wow.
I'm going to get me a young freak tonight. I mean a young freak. Wow, I almost hurt my throat saying that. And me and Metzler are dying laughing. We had like a lot of weird we had another super weird encounter with people.
Oh, I'm sure.
With a person. But that's just, if you've ever been to Dalton, Georgia, that'd probably just be normal to you.
It's just the way it is down there. Man.
And the last thing I'll say is the ride home. On the ride down there, it's a lot. You drive through, you leave New York into Pennsylvania, all the way through Ohio, through like a part of Kentucky, through a part of Tennessee, and then through Georgia. And on the way down there, we noticed an extraordinary amount of signs on the side of the highway, billboards for this place called the Lion's Den. Must be like a nationally run, like adult superstore.
I think everybody who's gone a distance, interstate, they are familiar with.
I'm saying
the Lion Den,
but more than I've. On the way down, it seemed like every single exit had a Lion's Den.
Oh my god!
It was getting excessive. So on the way back, we hop in the car. It's early, and we drive past the first Lion's Den sign, and I looked at Metzler. He was driving at this point, and I said, "I'm gonna count how many Lion's Den signs we see on this entire ride."
Yeah.
So I think right when we got into Ohio, I don't remember the number we were at, but I put out an over-under. I said, Metzler, this is the over-under on total signs we see until we get home. We've seen this many already. So for the rest of the trip, we gambled on, not actually gambled, but it gave us something to think about. We gambled on, I was making live lines over under how many Lions Den signs we'd see as we got home. So you'd be like, let's go 7. Like you had over 6.5. And then live line just shot up to 8.5. And then you pick your bet. I was making gambling lines. And then we also did the same thing with bridge may ice before road. That is the most common sign in all of everywhere on the highway. In Pennsylvania alone, and you're only in Pennsylvania for, I don't even know if you're in Pennsylvania for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And in Pennsylvania alone, there was 16 bridge may ice before road signs.
Holy crap.
So just keeping ourselves busy on the ride,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've done that ride a ton of times.
Oh, well, yeah, because you would go to Florida. Yeah, but you would go through West Virginia.
That's true.
Yeah, because we're going, Trenton, Georgia is it's the most northern eastern part of Georgia, I think, or maybe it's the most northern western. It's the most northern one tip of Georgia.
Yeah.
Don't know which tip.
Probably.
I think it would be west.
Yeah, I would say west.
Because if it was east, you would stay along the coastline and you'd go through the Virginias. Yeah.
Right.
So it's got to be west.
Oh, wow. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, and we on the way down we stopped at a KFC in Kentucky, so I did eat Kentucky Fried Chicken in Kentucky.
My gosh.
That was big highlight for me.
That sounds like, man, that sounds terrible. That just sounds
It
like some
it
kind
was
of,
delicious.
well, KFC is delicious. I mean, if we're talking
Famous
chicken,
bowl.
I was just thinking about this the other day because, nothing is happening. So I gotta,
Yeah, obviously.
just like think about shit. I was thinking about like fast food chicken, and I don't know. I think ideally, if I could have the Popeyes tenders with the Chick-fil-A sauce, that would be the perfect like fried chicken meal.
I do like Chick-fil-A sauce. See, I'm not a tender guy though. That's the thing. I get the nuggets at Chick-fil-A. That's really the only place I get.
That's basically the same thing.
But I don't really go to at KFC. I don't really go to Popeyes. If I'm going to KFC, I get a
Yeah.
Famous Bowl because a Famous Bowl. You know what a
What is
Famous Bowl is?
No, that sounds
It's
like
mashed.
I don't.
Sounds like heaven in your mouth. It's mashed. It's in a bowl.
Yeah,
It's
well, I
it's
deduced that
yeah.
part.
It's mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, popcorn chicken, and cheese,
Okay.
all in one famous bowl. It's like
Yeah.
you swirl it around. You get some potatoes, some corn, some gravy, some cheese, a
Right.
chicken on every bite.
No, that does sound
It
good.
is
But
so
so you're
good.
not even really going for the chicken though.
No, I don't.
That's just
I
part.
don't really even like fried chicken. It's too much work. If I was gonna eat, it's not that I don't like the taste. I like their like tenders. Like if I wanted chicken bad, I would get their tenders.
Right.
But I don't really like when you get like a bucket of like fried chicken and you're
Yeah.
eating it off the bone. It's too much work for me. I just want my food.
I get that. I mean, I definitely agree. At least for like fast food places, if there's like a southern place that like makes their own fried chicken, they
Yeah, homemade fried chicken is different.
that's exactly. But if you go to like KFC and stuff, especially because there's no kind of clean way to eat it. Like I kind of like to be a clean eater, honestly. Like I don't like to get.
Well, you also eat
napkin.
slower than anybody I've ever met.
I don't eat slow. What I do is I enjoy the food. I savor the flavor because I'm appreciating the meal.
You eat slow.
No, I'm appreciating the meal, and sometimes that takes a little more time than just scarfing it down for nutrients. I'm appreciating the food in front of me. I'm savoring every bite. I'm getting all the flavors. That's the best way to do it. Anyways, with the KFC especially because that chicken's so greasy, you get it all over your fingers, and then you get it all over your face because it's in like the weird shapes. You get like the breast with the bone in, or even like the legs. It just gets everywhere.
Yeah.
I cannot deal with that. And also, again, the sauce is a big part. Have you ever had the KFC signature sauce? It's called the finger licking good sauce.
No.
It's
I don't.
solid.
I don't. I would never go to. I would never go to KFC. I don't really go there for chicken. I go there for the Famous Bowl. That's the only thing
Right.
I really eat.
Man,
Um.
that's weird to me. I've never gone to like a chicken place to get like non-chicken stuff. But I love fried chicken. That's like, my favorite
What would you say?
fast food.
What would you say? Top 5 fast food restaurants in order.
Oh shit. Well, now I got to think about this. Top 5 fast food restaurants?
Yeah, you can think
Okay.
outside the box. I would say anything like Subway is as far as it extends. Like I would
Right.
Subway. I would still if there's anything like that that's
Okay.
on the edge. Is this fast food? If it's
Quiznos,
not.
does Quiznos count?
That's yeah. What are we in
I don't even-
2003?
I
Did
know.
they even have podcasts when Quiznos was around?
They didn't have anything. I don't even know if they had color TV when Quiznos was
Did
around.
you see that thing? Not to get off track, just quick. Did you see that thing on the internet that there's still one standing Blockbuster somewhere?
I'm
It was
very
like even
yes.
coronavirus can't kill this Blockbuster.
Yes, I'm very aware. I've been sort of monitoring this Blockbuster for the past couple years. It's in Oklahoma, right?
You probably know more than I do then if you've been
It's
monitoring for
it's
2 years. I
someplace
saw
like that. So I remember when Blockbuster like closed. I don't even know how many years ago that was, but just like a couple years ago, they said that there were pictures on the internet of like this is the last Blockbuster. It's like just sitting in some plaza, and it's really nice. The thing that they have that I like none of the Blockbusters where we grew up had was they've got like memorabilia, like movie memorabilia, like you're going to Planet Hollywood or something in the Blockbuster,
That's cool.
which adds something. Well, you know what I was
Yeah.
talking about the other day with somebody though is Family Video, because that chain is still going like pretty strong, and I have no idea how that is happening. Honestly, I don't know what their deal is.
Well, you used to go. I mean,
No, I'd go to Family Video sometimes, but like barely. I mean,
the
there was
thing,
last year
yeah,
when I was going to school, my Wi-Fi was down for like 2 weeks, so I'd go to Family Video all the time and like rent
yeah.
movies.
Maybe you just pay your bills.
I was it was no, that was
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have to pay the electric bill. That was like because I lived in that guy's pool house basically, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about
So there
that.
was a fiber cable between the two spots, and we had like our own router and stuff or whatever. But it was all on his bill. We just played like a flat rate for like the semester or whatever, and all that
That's
stuff
not
was
bad.
included. So
It's actually a good
it was
deal.
awesome. It was a great deal. That was a good time living
All right,
in that
let's
shack.
get back to you think about your fast food. I want to get back to that. I didn't mean to get off track,
Yeah.
but Quiznos, right? Yeah, yeah.
Quiznos is not on anyone's list.
No,
The last Quiznos, it's right next to that last Blockbuster.
yeah. It's a you know how they have them sometimes where they're combined.
Yeah.
Like it's a video store and
It's a
like a
Quiznos
restaurant.
Express. They're
Yeah,
finally
Quiznos Express inside of a Blockbuster.
they're finally branching out to that.
Yep.
Um, it's so tough. Man, favorite fast food spots. It's got to be like fast food, like national chains, like fast food, right?
I mean, regional because I guess if you were like a big
Right, right,
Bojangles fan or Long John Silver's, so I've never had any
right.
of those places. Even like Harvey's, I saw all these places down there, and I was tempted. Like I could just eat at every single one of them.
Yeah.
Then I would have had to be rolled back in the house.
No,
So
Long John Silver sounds gross though. I can't imagine that that place is actually good. I can't imagine like getting like fish, like fast food fish or
people
seafood.
eat people eat the fish filet fish all the time. People love the filet fish.
That's true. But
It's
even
a little bit
that,
different
but
though.
even that's a little, sketchy, I think sometimes. But I used to love the fillet of fish when I was a kid. Well, let me think about
See, I,
this. Let me think about this. Probably, I mean, the first three are, man, okay. I'm going to say Chick-fil-A for the all-around experience. I already said that I love the Popeyes tenders, the spicy tenders. That's probably my number one item all time, honestly. But Chick-fil-A for the whole
overall
experience,
restaurant, you put
sauce
Popeyes at two
for
though.
sure. What?
You just lagged a bunch.
Yeah, so did you. We'll just go from
You there now?
yeah.
Okay. So overall, you're putting Popeyes at two.
Yeah, overall I have to put Popeyes at 2. Then KFC, and then Taco Bell, and then Burger King.
So you're really all in on the fried chicken, huh?
Yeah, without a doubt. That's like the one cuz honestly like getting a burger, like when I even at Burger King, I don't get a burger. I've had one Burger King burger in my entire life, and it was greasy as fuck. It didn't taste bad or anything, but it grossed me out a little bit. But I even at Burger King, I get the chicken fries because I love chicken fries. So yeah, basically the only fast food that I get is fried chicken. Although subs from Subway, I like those too. But damn, maybe I might edge one of them out. But I don't know. Subway's at least a close sixth. But I would say those five for sure.
So what was that? Chick-fil-A,
Chick-fil-A, Popeyes,
Popeyes, KFC,
KFC, Taco Bell, Burger King,
Taco
in
Bell,
that
Burger
order.
King.
Yeah. So 4 out of those 5 places, I'm getting a chicken item.
Yeah. And Taco Bell's a completely different genre of food.
Exactly. It's its own thing. And Taco Bell. I mean, even at Taco Bell, I get
I
chicken
like Taco
quesadilla,
Bell.
and the Doritos Locos Taco. I like that.
Makes me want Taco Bell right now.
I don't know. The meat at Taco Bell.
I don't care.
I know. I don't either.
It's delicious. It
People
tastes
say
so goddamn good.
I
It
don't. I
tastes
honestly
so
don't care.
good.
At this point, being young people, I couldn't give two shits. I know that it has the minimum amount of meat to be qualified as meat in their stuff.
Okay.
It does not matter one bit to me.
Doesn't faze me one bit.
Nope, not
As
even a
long as I'm
little.
not getting hepatitis from it, then I don't care.
Yeah, that's what you got to watch out.
Um, those are pretty good picks. Not at all how I would probably rate my list.
Yeah, what do you got?
I would say that I think if you're putting Chick-fil-A at 1 for the overall experience combined with the food taste, I would have to say Chick-fil-A stays at 1. My
Yeah.
thing with Chick-fil-A is that if I could have it more often, because even when I'm at school and there's that one in Cheektowaga, it's still like a 12 to 15 minute drive, and the
That's
line's
too
always
much.
long. Well,
Yeah,
the
that's
line's
true.
always so long,
That's
and
true.
there's 10 million fast food places like on
Yeah.
Delaware that's so much closer, whereas then I have to get on the highway, go past the Gallery Mall. So I think that if I ate it, it's so good though. I had it
Yeah.
yesterday. It's so good.
That's a
But I
thing.
feel if I had it at more of a disposal,
Right. Well, everybody loves it, and like you said, going there is basically.
it's so good.
I mean, you're probably looking at like a 35, 45-minute commitment, honestly, to get Chick-fil-A.
It is so good though. It is so good. I didn't even eat enough of it yesterday too, and the Chick-fil-A sauce, I could bathe in it.
Yeah, I would have no problem with that. Absolutely,
It
man.
smell a little funny after, but imagine I wouldn't even need a towel. Lick myself clean. How about
Good
that?
Lord, like a cat.
Mm-hmm.
That's gross. But
Mm-hmm.
you don't want a drop of it to go to waste.
No, you're not wasting any of it. I don't know. Here's my thing: is I love Mighty Taco. I love Mighty Taco.
That's true.
Not everybody can have Mighty Taco. If you've never had Mighty Taco, just hop in the car, drive to Western New York, and eat Mighty Taco. But people from outside of Western New York hate Mighty Taco. They think
I don't
Taco
know.
Bell is so much better. But
Well,
it is.
it's
Like
so.
I could eat.
It's honestly so different for being sort of,
Oh,
both
then
like
Taco Bell. It's
fast
it's
food
no,
Mexican place or
it's
whatever.
completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
Completely different.
Like I don't know any details about Mighty Taco's food or whatever, but it definitely feels healthier. I'm
I
sure
don't
that
even
it's
care.
not by that much.
I don't.
Probably,
Yeah, I don't. I bet it's probably not by that much. It is so good though. I'm so hungry. By the way, for anybody listening to this, I haven't eaten dinner yet. We're recording. What time is it? Like 8:50, 9 o'clock,
9:30 right now.
9:30. I haven't eaten since I had Subway when we first crossed from Kentucky into Ohio. That was probably 1:30.
That was at
That was the last.
that was at like 2 o'clock because you texted me.
Yeah, that was the last thing I ate. So I am goddamn starving. So this fast food talk has me all sorts of fired up, feeling some type of way over here.
Yeah, I don't know if this was the best combo.
No, I would say Wendy's is up there for me. I would say
Wendy's is great. Wendy's for
love Wendy's.
once McDonald's that supersized documentary came out and McDonald's got all healthy with their French fries and shit. Wendy's has the best fries right now in the game.
Burger King has
Well,
good fries too, though.
Burger King does have good fries. I'm excluding
Burger King's
waffle
are
cut
always
fries at Chick-fil-A.
yeah.
Obviously.
Burger King's fries are always salty too. I love
That's
that.
what I like about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Chipotle chips because they're like mad salty.
Oh yeah. See, some of my roommates are big. Get Chipotle chips, dunk them in the burrito, or do you get guac? What is your Chipotle chip
Yeah,
go
get
to?
guac.
You
Yeah.
get guac. Must be nice to have a job.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, I don't.
I
get
can pay
guac.
that. I can pay that. That $3.99 extra.
They're like, what was on this? I was like, oh, that was a vegetarian burrito. I gotta say, it's like 70
So
more
they
cents.
give you guac if that.
No, they always charge me anyway. That's my thing with
Okay.
going to Moe's is Moe's. I couldn't imagine eating a Moe's burrito. It's another thing I could bathe in is Moe's queso.
That's what I hear.
And even if I had just gone for a 3-mile run, if I hopped in a bag of Moe's queso and I was sitting in it all dirty, and you gave me a straw, I'd probably couldn't resist but to have to drink it. Is that too far? Did I just cross the line? I don't even care.
I
It is
think there are
so
people out
good.
there that agree with you for sure.
But that's my thing with Moe's is when you get queso on your burrito, it costs extra now.
Uh-huh.
And on top of that, I eat a lot of food. It's hard for me to resist getting double meat. So I throw double meat and I get queso on the burrito, and based off my love of the queso, you don't have to upgrade my size queso side to a cup of queso. Because then you get a full bag of chips and a full cup of queso.
What is it usually if it's not a cup?
It's a little side, like little, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
like a
salsa.
dipping,
A
like a tiny
dipping.
little a dipping thing.
Yeah.
But
Bigger than.
yeah, but you can't dip like a chip in that. You can't dip the chip
When you
good
get.
in that.
Well, maybe they're a little bigger than. Think of like. I don't even know what would come in this besides Moe's queso. Like a to-go thing of like when you go to a restaurant and you pump barbecue sauce in it and you put the lid on, or ketchup or something like that. Not one of the little white ones, but a to-go. It's probably about that size.
No, I got it.
And it's just not enough queso. And then people say, well, Matt, if you're going to get the side cup of queso, the upgraded size, why do you have to get queso on your burrito? Let me tell you, because you have to get queso on your burrito. They're like, oh, well, why? They're like, well, they're like, dunk the burrito in the queso. And I say, no, a rookie dunks the burrito in the queso. What you do is you you find a good scoopy chip, and bite per bite, you scoop queso onto the bite of burrito. Bite. Maximize your queso in that one spot. Because the queso kind of gets mixed in. Plus, you get regular cheese. You got lettuce. I get chipotle sauce on there. I got cheese, stuff all over the place. You have to get it on there, but it also, I mean, you probably could go without it, honestly, because it does blend in. But you have to get it on there, because then I know, okay, there's queso on here.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. Doing it any other way, I think that's an amateur move.
So then my Moe's order is like $17, and it's like, well,
wow.
Do you guys accept pinky toes? I can cut one of those off for you.
That's the thing about even at Chick-fil-A, like, there's one not too far from where I am. It's so quality. Is that what you were going to say? That's true. But the thing, like, when I went from living in Florida to living in Fredonia and would have to go to the Chick-fil-A in Erie, PA, and we'd only go down there like,
it's not that bad of a ride, though.
No, it's not a long ride, but we'd only go down there. It's like 50 minutes, but we'd only go down there, once a semester.
Yeah.
So I'd have Chick-fil-A like twice a year. So and when I went down there, I would get 12-piece nugget and the 4-piece strips. And I mean, that was like $20.
You were bragging about that? Like, oh, you only get it one. You want to know what I get when I go to Chick-fil-A? And I probably eat Chick-fil-A once a month.
You get Chick-fil-A once a month?
Maybe. When I'm at school, I mean, the one is, maybe not. Once every 2 months. And I got a couple Chick-fil-A gift cards for Christmas, so I was...
Ooh, yeah.
I'll get 2 spicy chicken deluxes, just the sandwiches,
and
then an 8-piece nugget combo, so that I get drink and the fries.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You got to figure out. You got to do some of the math.
And that's the thing is, when I eat Chick-fil-A, I don't feel like I just ate McDonald's. So I don't mind spending more money on it and filling myself up. Because no matter where I go, if I'm going to eat to get full for a while, I consume a wicked amount of food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I go. That's the same thing with the double meat, stuff like that. So, but that's why I do think that if I've been trying lately not to eat as much fast food, but if I'm on the run, I have to eat fast food. I'll go to, even Lendy's is expensive. If you can get the 4 for $4, which is good, but a 4 for $4 again isn't quite enough food. I'll get 2 4 for $4s, and that's not bad. I mean, you're getting a lot of food for virtually $9.
Yeah, that's a smart idea actually.
But if you want to like get one of their nice like the spicy Asiago chicken ranch meal, it's like almost an $11 meal. It's like $10.49 or something.
Wow. I always have,
and that's not enough food for one person. I've gotten that and a 4 for $4 before when I'm feeling, when I just got my tax return back or something like that, or I found a 20 laying on the street, had to Wendy's, but it's Yeah, I am starving.
I can tell. Oh my gosh.
What have you been up to though? I
Nice.
know since last week. Obviously still working, but what else quarantine sitch going on? Have you been up to? What have you?
Just like, going to work, thriving, thriving in quarantine, honestly. We've been watching Indiana Jones. Zoe wanted to watch it. She's never seen Indiana Jones before. So we've been watching those.
Okay.
And, you know, I don't know. Growing up, Temple of Doom, the second one, was always my favorite of those movies. So we watched Raiders and then we watched that one. And I don't know. Now I'm not sure if Raiders is my favorite one now because that movie's like
So,
perfect.
yeah.
But Temple of Doom, it's so much action and adventure. Man, I
To
don't
be
know.
honest, I haven't watched Temple of Doom, and so is that the one where
That's
they're
the one where
running
the
behind the thing, or is
what?
that Raiders? You know when he's in the restaurant or whatever.
Oh yeah. That's the opening of Temple of Doom when they're
Okay,
in
so
Shanghai.
since they've been put on Netflix, I've only watched Raiders because I always remember it being my favorite,
Yeah,
and I knew like the alien. What the hell was the most recent? The Crystal Skull.
I can't
Okay,
even. Don't even get me started, man.
we talked
Have,
about this on Film Juice, kind of, but let me get to what I want to say. We
okay.
talked about this on Film Juice. We did. I went on Film Juice, Andrew's other podcast. You guys should check it out. What I went on there, special guest did a review of National Treasure, just the first
Yeah,
National
it's a
Treasure.
good segment, by the way.
They very good. You guys should go check it out. They wouldn't let me talk about the second National Treasure because I would have gone on for hours. For those of you who don't know, I'm a National Treasure history buff. Only history based on the movie National Treasure is the history that I know. And I wanted to get we talked about we didn't talk about the second one, but we talked about the how they're making a third one. The third one finally got the ball rolling after I begged and begged and begged. I put in the man hours. I got the people the third
Yeah,
movie.
and it paid
Here's
off
my thing.
thanks to you.
I'm gonna spoil the National Treasure 2. If you've never seen it, fast forward 45 seconds. I'll be quick with it. Just if you've never seen it, don't listen to the podcast. Like
Yeah, stop what
I
you're
don't
doing
actually
right now and go
respect
watch
you.
it, you maniac.
Um,
It's on Disney Plus, Book of Secrets, page 47.
So yes, okay. So this is what I'm getting at. So what's on page 47
Hmm.
is the big. That's how the second movie ends. Did you find out what's on page 47? The movie foreshadows and drops hints to the fact that on page 47 is something about aliens because there's a chapter in Riley's book. It's the only other chapter that they really mention. Besides, they mentioned the Kennedy assassination, and then they mentioned aliens / Area 51, and then whatever they're looking for. You know what I mean? It's in the Book of Secrets. I don't know what it's called. The piece of wood. The picture of the piece of wood.
Yeah,
So I think, and most people on the internet think that something extraterrestrial is on page 47.
right.
So as we were talking about the movie, all of a sudden it clicked in my head. What if the third National Treasure takes a crystal skull jump and it absolutely sucks?
Yeah, which is honestly, it's a big possibility. I don't want to believe it. Nobody wants to believe it, but there's potential.
If the third movie sucks, good luck finding my body at the bottom of the falls, folks, because that is ridiculous. I have been waiting since 2008 for that movie.
Yeah, man, I don't know what they would do, but they can't do the other. I'm not going to say the title. I don't even consider it an Indiana Jones movie. As far as I'm concerned, there are 3 Indiana Jones movies, and that other one is just a mistake. And I don't want to get too heated, but
Andrew, Andrew,
I remember
breathe. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath.
got the box set of the Indiana Jones DVDs for Christmas the year that other movie was coming out.
Yeah, I can see the box set right now.
Exactly, it's still there. And what I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark. I watched Temple of Doom so many times, and I was so excited to see that other movie that I won't, the movie that must not be named. And I remember sitting there in the theater and realizing about, a little of the ways through that this is terrible. You got to stay for the whole thing, of course. No
Obviously.
disrespect at that point. Now I disrespect that piece of shit all I want, but you got to stay for it at that point. But even then, and I don't even know what year that fucking thing came out, but we were pretty young, and I was like, I'm never going to watch this movie again. I was in 7th grade. So I was like,
Have you watched it
12,
since?
13. Nope, and I never will. Even because I know that it's on Netflix, if I see like what I think is the sort of poster graphic for it coming up, if I'm like scrolling, I'll turn away from the TV because I don't even want to see the poster. I don't want to see anything about that movie. That movie is one of the low points of my life, was having to that. Man, it's bad. It's bad.
I don't remember it all that much, to be honest, but I remember not thinking it was good, and I remember you being so mad at how bad it was. So that just instantly usually puts me on. Not all movies that you think are bad, I think are bad, but I would agree that that movie's bad. And when it really makes you mad, I know it's really bad because I've seen some bad movies.
I know. There's this. Do you remember this one time our cousin Shannon was babysitting us and we watched a movie on demand called Whiskers? Do you remember this movie?
I was probably hiding in the closet trying to call mom.
It was this movie called Whiskers. It's the second worst movie that I've ever seen. And it's about this kid who moves to a new town and he's a loser. And he doesn't have any friends. His only friend is his pet cat that he brought with him during
Whiskers?
the move.
It's the cat's name, Whiskers?
The cat's name is Whiskers. Very good. Very good. Nice inference. And so the museum of this local town is having like an Egyptian exhibit. So this kid goes on his bike and he's got Whiskers in the basket of his bike, and he takes his cat into the museum with him. And there's this statue there that's supposed to be the statue of this ancient cat goddess whose name starts with a B. I can't remember. And the kid is like enthralled.
Babushka?
It's not Babushka. It's not the Baba Yaga. So the kid's so like enamored with this, and the entire Egyptian exhibit in this museum consists of one sarcophagus in the corner and then this fucking statue. And it's only guarded by like a little velvet rope. So the kid ducks under the rope and he starts rubbing up on the statue like a fucking weirdo, because this kid is strange. Like, I get that he's the new kid and maybe that's why people are picking on him, but even if they get to know this kid, they won't like him.
Hopefully nobody saw him rub the statue.
What was that? That new kid, Tyler?
Got him rubbing
all over that fucking statue. I don't know what that kid's deal is. You're not hanging out with that boy. So then the security guard comes and he tells the kid to like get the fuck out of here. So the kid goes home, and that night he's like laying in his bed and his cat is like in the bed with him.
Can I make a prediction?
Go ahead.
Can the cat either talk and or does it turn into like an old like Egyptian pharaoh?
No, they're pretty close. Here's what happens. So he goes, Whiskers, you're my only friend. And he turns in for the night. Cat's laying at the foot of the bed. This blue magic comes in through the window and surrounds the cat. The next day, kid wakes up. His mom's like, your waffles. Get your waffles. Get your waffles here. I'm your mom. And the kid wakes up. And he's like, oh, he yawns and he looks around. There's a 30-year-old man at the foot of his bed, butt-ass naked, where the cat was. So the kid, appropriately, freaks out. He's screaming. And then the guy jumps off the bed. He pounces off the bed, and he goes and he tries to hide behind the dresser.
Like a cat. He's running around naked like a cat.
As a cat would.
Swinging meat like a...
Yes.
Right in this little 8-year-old's face.
His full-grown man balls are now all over this kid's G.I. Joe.
He's dragging him. Yeah.
So He's hiding behind. And the kid just goes, Whiskers?
Whiskers?
And the guy goes, of course it's me, Whiskers. And he's like, wait a minute, I can talk. And then he starts looking at his hands and realizing that he is in fact a 30-year-old man. Now,
Oh, he didn't know yet. He didn't know that.
he
was
didn't
a naked
realize. He didn't
man?
realize. So, of course, what you might be wondering is why was the cat not turned into another little boy?
Well, because he was probably 30 in cat years.
Man, because he was 30 in cat years, which
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's a fucking thing. I don't think
That's obvious.
You got dog years. That's obvious. That wasn't obvious to me. That's crazy. So that whole movie is the plot of the movie is to turn Whiskers back into a cat. They have to
without the guy getting caught. Like they probably have to hide who the guy is, right?
There's
from the mom too. Do they tell the mom about the cat, or do they hide it from the mom too?
They hide it from everybody.
So you're telling me there's a 30-year-old man living in this little boy's room?
Yes.
There's other movies about that, and they're not cat based, and they are actually about criminals.
I think the biopic for Jared from Subway is actually very similar to this movie. So
sex offender joke, nice.
I like to keep a highbrow on the show. So there's like a 10-minute scene where the kid is teaching this 30-year-old man cat how to use a fork and knife. And so the whole plot of the movie is they have to turn Whiskers back into a cat, right? So to get him back into a cat, the only way is for Whiskers the cat to reunite with his mom, who was like captured by this lab for animal testing. And for Whiskers to he's got to learn how to jump like a cat again. So half of the movie is this grown man and this little boy sitting in an alley while the grown man just jumps around.
Jumps back and forth.
And it's so bad. If anybody can find this movie, good. It's really hard to find, but you should, I don't know, try to watch it because it's
Here's the thing. One, thanks, Shannon.
Yeah, I know. She just left it on for us.
Two, I don't know if cats... I think cats do have years. Say they live to 30 cat years. How old is the mom? How is the mom cat still alive?
She's dead, man. She has to be dead. There's no way. I don't remember how the movie ends, but there's no way that the cat mom isn't passed away. That's just a fact.
Whiskers is just a man now.
The longest any cat's going to live is 18 years. And if the cat,
yeah.
There's no
History
way.
lived, what, 18 years?
Yeah, exactly. And she was super old for a cat. That was our old cat. That was our first cat. Mean cat. Very mean cat.
Mean cat. We should see if Shannon would come on. I bet you Shannon would be a good guest.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, we had a blast last week. I don't know if anybody hasn't listened to the last episode where our pal Jake Faz came on. That was a lot of fun.
That was probably our best episode yet, actually. And also, it seemed like things just went well. He had a little, you know what I mean? It seemed like, it was a good episode. I actually don't remember a single thing we've talked about in any episode yet so far. I'm not good with memory.
Oh, boy. Yeah, well.
I remember tornadoes. I remember Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
That's about all I got.
Hey, those are the big ones. Those are the highlights, baby.
That before we start to wrap it up, that actually, there was supposed to be all this bad weather today. People were like, well, we don't want you to drive. We were like, well, we don't want to drive home through the middle of the night.
Right.
Especially after we've been up since 7 a.m. in the truck all day. But also, there's supposed to be all these storms. So when we got into, I think it was Ohio. If it was Kansas, I'm going to be pissed. Because if I didn't realize we were still in Kansas, I'm going to be mad. Because that would have been total Wizard of Oz type shit. We're not in Kansas anymore. Because this huge, I'm saying storm. It's raining so hard, the highway there was standing water on the highway. You couldn't see cars next to you. If it was a gray car, like a white car, unless it was a brighter color, like a red, then you could maybe see 5 feet, and you were just relying on lights. So rainy. Hardest rainstorm I've probably ever driven through. But you could see up ahead, just in front of us, was where the cutoff of the storm was. So we were like, we got to get out of this because if we get stuck in it, it's going to put so much extra time. So we risked it all, punched it out of the storm, and then stayed ahead of it the whole way home. I think it's supposed to rain here tonight like that, or not maybe like that, but so I started calling the truck. I started calling Metzler's truck Storm Runner. So I was like, oh yeah, old Storm Runner's taking care of us. But if we were still in Kansas and that storm came through, and I didn't rip off we're not in Kansas anymore, Wizard of Odd type quotes, I'm actually going to be mad. I can't believe that just crossing in from, first of all, we weren't even in Kansas, so we were in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So that's the first problem.
I would say
that
that's
I just
one
realized.
flaw in your plan.
So that's probably why it didn't occur to me at first. I don't even know where Kansas is.
It's there somewhere.
I saw a video of somebody like making fun of their friend the other day. They did it was like a 4-part video, and they would ask him questions, and the questions were rather hard questions.
Okay.
Like, if I held, it was like a real life picture, like a shot. It wasn't like at an event or anything, just a headshot of Rosa Parks. Yeah. If I held it up and said, "Who is this?" Could you tell me it was Rosa Parks?
Me?
Do you know what her fate? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
You know what
Rosa looks like? Without a doubt. I could draw her right now. That's how well I remember what Rosa Parks looks like. Of course, I do.
Maybe that was an easy one, but there was other. Okay, I'm trying to think. If I'm gonna make myself sound so stupid.
I think you might. I think you might. I think you set yourself up for that.
If somebody held up a map, and I know that mom teaches her 4th graders this too. But after 4th grade, what do you need to really know for? General area. I could do general area, 100%. If somebody holds up a map unlabeled and points at a state, would you know all 50 states?
All 50?
When you get into like the Midwest too,
right,
when they're all just kind of squares,
yeah,
and you know the area. I think that I could give you 3 states probably if I said it's one of these 3 states, but I couldn't pick like the exact one. And she's picking these states, and there was another one. The one thing that was dumb of her was pictures of presidents. I could do and it was like the one was like JFK, one was FDR. Yeah. Like those are presidents like
that everybody knows.
Yeah.
They're on money.
I'm trying to think of what else. There was like another.
Man, you know what you got?
State one, you know.
What?
What? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I wanted to do this stand-up bit where I go, "Hey, you guys like impressions?" And they're like, "Yeah," or they're like, "Fuck you," but I'm like, "I'm gonna do them anyways." So then I'd be like, I can only do impressions of former U.S. presidents. And then I would be like, "You guys, any fans of Martin Van Buren out there?" And then I would be like, I'd just say something like, "Hey, not in my house." And they'd be like, "That's a perfect impression." Because these are guys, you have no idea what a perfect impression of them would actually sound like. You just go like, "Hey, Zachary, John Quincy Adams," or something like that. My shoes are wet. That's a perfect impression of that guy. You have no idea. Proof me.
You want to know?
You don't know.
You want to know what that would be in like a Will Ferrell movie? Like he would do that scene in a movie, and it would be so stupidly funny.
He would nail that. Whole thing. That'd be perfect.
I have to eat dinner.
Yeah, you better eat something.
Bad.
I know.
I slept. When we left the morning, I know I said I didn't watch the Jordan thing because I got in bed. Because I did get in bed. I got in bed at we ate dinner. I got in bed. I was in bed probably by 9 o'clock thinking like, I have to be up at 4:30. I'm going to get to sleep.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to bed till probably after 3 o'clock. I think I slept for like an hour and 15 minutes. And then drove all the way to Georgia.
Right.
Didn't go to bed. But, I mean, I probably went to bed. When we got to Georgia, I probably was asleep before 11, I bet. Probably 11 o'clock. But then you're talking about... See, but it knocks me out too much. I need to have the ability to wake up. You know what I mean?
You don't drink.
If I have something...
If you take...
No, I have the pills. I have the equal pills. I have them down here.
Either. Because the pills... You know, if you
I
take
can't
one pill,
drink
that's like
ZzzQuil.
15 milligrams. If you drink it, you can just drink like, that much. Because even if you drink like 15 milligrams, which is what one of those pills are, you're too groggy the next day. So you take like a tiny like doop. You just take a dupe of it. You take a little
I
dupe.
do.
you
Little
just
doop.
you just dupe it,
Yeah, you just dupe it.
and you just like kind of float to sleep, and then you're good. And then you're good to go. That's what you got to do. That's what
I
I
really
do.
don't like the taste though. And
Do it right
I
before you
don't know.
brush your teeth. Get it right out of there immediately.
I don't like making myself fall asleep. I wish that like I don't know. I don't like taking stuff like that really. I think
Yeah, I
that I
get you.
would. There's like things that I saw this thing the other day actually on Dave Portnoy's unboxing. He got sent it to him. It was like, which this is probably stupid to say that I wouldn't take that, but I'd do this. It was like imagine like a Red Bull. It like came in like a tall can, energy drinking looking can, but it was to put you to sleep.
Interesting. You could pull like a prank on somebody with that for sure.
That I mean, you could probably they'd probably be like, "Oh, I'm fired up." I hate the taste of Red Bull, and you want to know why I hate the taste of Red Bull?
Because it's gross.
Not because I hate the taste of Red Bull, because it reminds me of Gold Four Locos.
Ooh, that's bad news, man. I was thinking about Four Locos just yesterday. Yeah, exactly. Do a little prayer because
Yeah, a
those.
little sign of the cross going on over here on the video portion of things.
I only had that one time in my life, and I honestly, that's probably enough for me. And you hear people have horror stories about, like, if you, I've never taken ecstasy, but apparently, it like, it it really increases your serotonin levels and like
Yeah,
basically squeezes your brain dry so that like the next day
you're really
or like
thirsty.
well, not just you're thirsty,
That's
but
one of
like
the
you're
things. Of it.
yeah, but I'm talking about your serotonin is so depleted and whatever gland produces that is so dried up that you don't have any left and you're like depressed for like the next day or the next 3 days. Like that's kind of
Yeah, it's like a
akin to what
hangover.
but it's but
I
it's
know what
like
you
an
mean. It's like
emotional
the yeah,
hangover,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
And that's what like, Four Loco, that's a very similar thing in my one experience with Four Loco. Because that was bad news that one time. I don't think I ever need.
Did you maybe? Yeah, I think you just might be a little sauce because I got some great Four Loco stories. I mean, I have some.
Oh,
I
it
slept
was a
on.
blast when
Yeah,
we were
see,
drinking it, but it's not worth
how
it.
many did you have? One or
Yeah.
two?
I just had, I think I had one and a half,
See, I was
and
gonna say
that
you
was
can
bad.
if you drink one Four Loco, you're in a good spot. One like to go like out and do that'd be fun. If you drink two Four Locos, we I don't know. I mean, our mom listens to this, so she's gonna be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah,
We
she'll
used
be
to call it.
fine.
Yeah,
You
we
got
used
to
to call
do
it.
it,
We would call it.
podcast. You got to be honest on the
We would
podcast,
call it.
okay?
You would
If
call it
if
piss.
anybody listening, that's
Yeah.
your fault. You know,
Why is Craig? Craig is lit up green right now. Like Craig's talking on my screen. I've never seen him lit up green like that. Anyway,
I don't know. Not on my end.
we, like everybody used to call it piss yourself for $4 because if you drank two Four Locos, you would not remember a thing, and
Yeah.
they're only like $2 a piece. So
Man, I wonder what. Did you ever have like one of the original ones? How long were those even out for?
no, I don't think that many people our age have. But that's the
Yeah.
thing about the gold ones. So they have the regular ones now that are the original flavors, but like the changed recipe. There's no like cocaine sprinkled in them or whatever was going on in the
Yeah.
original ones.
Probably pretty close to
Um,
that.
um, they have the regular original flavors, and they're 12% alcohol. But the big one, like the gold ones, or like they have one called sour. It's green apple. They have a red
Yeah.
one. They have a frost one. Those ones are 14%. It's just a bad idea to drink Four Locos in general,
Yeah.
but it's cheap and effective. So it's pros and cons.
I guess
I
that's
haven't had a Four Loco in a long time though. Those because of that reason. They used to all gross me out except for the gold one. And then the gold one got to me too. So then now I don't even like the taste of Red Bull. I never really drank energy drinks anyway, but
yeah. Yeah, I can't blame you for that. That's yeah, you get burned by. I mean, those Four Locos are just they're just made entirely out of things that your body that is designed to reject, and it's a bad situation.
Just take
Which
like
I
next
don't
time.
think I'll ever have one.
Here's my advice. Next time,
Maybe
instead of drinking a Four Loco, just drink like 12 Jaeger bombs.
sure.
No,
Problem
but like
solved.
that's what I mean. That's what a Gold Four Loco tastes like, a vodka Red Bull to me, and that is
Mhm.
disgusting. I could never go to a bar. If you go to a bar and drink, this is my thing, because I know a lot of people that love vodka Red Bulls. If
It's
you go to
very
a bar
popular.
and you drink a vodka Red Bull, not besides the fact that they say that energy drinks and like alcohol are bad things to mix because like one's an up or one's a down, or they have opposite effects on each other, and you can like, you know what I mean, get
Mhm.
caught in a spot of not knowing how you're really feeling, and then you bad things happen. But some of my friends, like when they will go out, we'll be on Chippewa, we'll get back to the house like 4:30 in the morning, and they'll have been drinking vodka Red Bulls all night, and we'll be sitting there exhausted,
They'll be
like
drinking
maybe
the
like
vodka Red
making a
Bulls.
snack before we go to bed. Seinfeld's trying to jump up on my. And they'll be sitting there like hearts racing out of their chest at 5 o'clock in the morning. How, one, is that enjoyable? They don't even taste that good.
No,
One, is that enjoyable? And two, like, it can't be good for you. And I'm not
there's
saying that
no
a
way.
lot of things that me or you or anybody does are good for you, but that specifically, what a depressing way to end the podcast, by the way.
That is a little rough. That's a little rough going. I don't know. I don't know what else we got.
I'm
He's got a
tired
one
and I'm
Cheerio
hungry.
thing.
What am I
Yeah,
going to eat?
gotta eat something. I don't know.
I think what I'm going to eat.
You got to figure it out. But man, man,
See, here's
I
the thing is,
definitely wish that I had gone down to Georgia for a little bit. I like had that opportunity. So I missed the World
it
Open, but I
was,
just miss like being someplace warm
well,
like
you know
that,
what it
like that
was
southern
is,
warm. You know?
and it wasn't humid, it was just hot. There's a
Yeah.
little breeze. It was really nice. But here's the thing, honestly, the most fun part about it was we've all been like, self-isolated this whole time.
Right.
And the reason that I went with Ryan is because like it wasn't originally planned as a vacation. It was either I go with him or his mom was going to have to go with him. And his
Yeah.
mom is still working from home, but then you still have to take off work for that stuff. And that's a long drive to be with your mom. So it was kind of like a mutual agreement between like his parents, like, and like obviously our parents were okay with it. It wasn't intended to go for a vacation. It turned into an extra day, which ended up allowing us to have a little fun. But I mean, we're young, it wasn't so much a risk for us to go as it might be that like we would have got sick when we're down there. But people down there aren't worried about it, and the biggest thing was just being in the car for that amount of time together. Sometimes you might get annoyed with a person. Not so much like we've Boston, we've gone on long road trips before,
Yeah.
but it was just so much fun to be with another person.
Right.
Like talking, just like it just we're the way down and the way back. I bet you I drove the last 5.5 hours or so on the way down, or on the way back today, and it was the same thing on the way down. I didn't drive to end on the way down, but like we weren't even listening to music. We were just like
Right.
shooting the shit, like it's just like being physical, like
Sure.
talking to somebody again.
Yeah. I think
It was like, damn.
I
Like
think that's
that is why life was fun.
that's how it'll be once, this quarantine's done. And I wonder if people are going to be like nicer because they're just so excited to see folks. I think a lot of people probably aren't going to be,
People are it's
but some
especially
folks,
in New York, people are freaking assholes. People in Georgia were so I know they say like people in the South are
sure, Southern
they got their
hospitality.
they got their screws loose, but
Oh yeah, they got their own issues.
they always are nice. And people like that, people here are just like in such a hurry all the time. It seems like down there it's not like that. Like
Buy,
people are just
sell, buy, sell, buy,
yeah.
sell. I'm over it.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to say before I get going was a quick mention of Saturday night, best night in quarantine by far. Our cousin Kyle was supposed to get married to her fiance Sean. It was supposed to be this weekend. It got postponed because of all the virus nonsense, and obviously that's upsetting. So her and her sister and a couple other of our cousins, I'm not sure exactly who, set up
Katie and Shannon.
Katie, yeah. They set up a virtual
It was a
wedding reception, pretty much, I would say.
That's kind of what it felt like, yeah.
Where a bunch of us, a lot of us, there's a ton of people,
yeah,
just pretty much went in a giant Zoom call, had all our computers muted. One person, Shannon, ran through a DJ, so you clicked share your computer sound with the host, which was Shannon, and she DJ'd for the whole thing, and we could just all see each other and just in our own houses just drank and danced for probably 2 full hours.
Yeah.
Just had a riot. And not only was it so fun to see everybody and to do that, and I did it with mom and dad too, and it's hard, that, but I was having fun.
Yeah.
Mom and I were drinking. Dad, I think he might have had one non-alcoholic beer, but it was a blast.
Crazy.
Yeah, he was
screaming.
Yeah, too turned up, as they would say. It was so much fun though. Two things. One, I felt bad for Sean and Kyle, but I hope that they had a blast. If they listened, they might not, but if they do, I hope they had fun. And two, it has me so excited for the wedding. That's going to be
a blast.
One of the most fun weekends of all time. Do you know how much fun we had?
Just over that.
Yeah, we couldn't even talk to each other.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much fun. So I'm really excited for that. I hope that they're not too upset about the whole wedding thing because everybody had so much fun. So shout out to them. Shout out to the people that set that up.
Yeah.
And everybody was there. Yeah. Everybody. It's just nice to see the whole fam kind of. I hope everybody had fun because nobody can really do anything. It's not like you can go out and do that kind of stuff. So to give yourself an excuse to kind of have a few drinks and dance around your living room, it was a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited to see Uncle Anthony's, who we talk about on the podcast all the time. I'm excited to see he's an ordained minister. I'm excited to see him in action in his element. Those minister skills are all about.
I was calling him Minister Cappy. That was what I Minister Cappy. So yeah, he's got a lot of pressure, Uncle Anthony. A lot of pressure. Especially because there's at least one other ordained minister in the family.
That's true. I wasn't going to say anything.
If you're going above and beyond, we actually have a great Uncle Joe who is a Jesuit priest that lives in the Philippines.
Yeah,
so he's number one. He's number one.
Well, he's not an ordained minister. He's the real deal.
Yeah. I don't even know how religion works. I'm confirmed, though, so
yeah.
Suck on that, everybody. That isn't.
Yep. Good luck in hell.
That's another funny thing, though, in some hysterical religious signs. There was signs like...
Oh, down in Georgia?
Like billboards on the way there. Hell is real. If you died right now, where would you end up?
And then you got that right next to the Lions.
There was back-to-back signs that said one was the first 5 commandments, one was the second 5 commandments, back-to-back billboards. And then there was one it honestly might have been in Ohio, like the southern, like right when you cross the Mason-Dixon, like Kentucky or Kentucky, yeah, not Kansas, Kentucky
not
into Ohio.
Kansas, yeah.
That said, it was really aggressive sign opposed to same-sex marriage. It was like marriage is between a man and a woman, period. And that was the sign. That was a billboard.
Wow. That's crazy.
I was like...
That's so dumb.
Can you put anything on a billboard? Can I go put anything on... Because this is how the guys... We said, can I go buy a billboard and just put up like a picture of like... Me and Metz were talking about. There's like a pretty good picture of like our friend group, and we don't... There's 7 of us. We don't get pictures together often. There's all 7 of us. We're like, can we just go buy a billboard and slap that on there and throw our Instagrams on there and just let it ride? Like I was saying, it wasn't him, it was me, but that's my idea. And
you can. We could get a billboard for the podcast. Put them up all over town.
But can we get Craig's picture in it too? I wish you guys could see actually how cute Craig is. Like, come on, Andy. I know you've got a hard exterior, but come on, tell them that Craig is cute. I'm not. I want to leave. I'm hungry. I want to eat dinner. I'll start getting mad.
Craig is, he's a fine young individual.
What was that? He's what?
He's a fine young individual.
He's cute.
Yeah, he's
like a little teddy bear.
Yeah, he's very cute for a bot.
Folks, you heard it here first. Andrew thinks that this weird little electronic bear is cute. Fucking weirdo. What an idiot.
I was taunted into it. You set me up. Man. All right, go get something to eat, man. Go get something to eat and get to sleep.
So follow us on Twitter at Two in the Cooler Podcast. Check out last episode if you haven't. This one will be coming out on Thursday, the 30th. The 30th. Oh, I've got an accounting exam tomorrow. Final one.
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
Dad called me yesterday, and he was like, when are you guys doing another podcast? And I was like, when Matthew gets home tomorrow, we're going to get on and record. He goes, well, he better be studying. He's got an accounting final on Thursday. I was like, oh, boy. Yep, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll be on the top of his list.
My online accounting final, that's 50 questions.
Multiple choice?
Yeah. Well, our accounting usually isn't, but because it's all online and you have to do it through this desire to learn, like you can't really. If it was on Wiley Plus, but I don't think you can just make your own exam on Wiley Plus.
Wiley Plus.
So 50 multiple choice, because our exams are usually 50 multiple choice and then 3 short answer.
Right.
50 multiple choice. Dad. And Professor D'Anzano. I am going to cheat on this test. I'm letting you know right now. I'm going to use the internet to look up these answers.
I don't think anybody can blame you for that.
I don't think they care. I don't. It's a 50 multiple choice question test, and we have 2.5 hours to take it. If you cared that much, you'd shorten the time limit, would you not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you'd assign us homework problems and just make that our exam. That's what I would have done if I was her. Sure. I'm not going to. Hey, I lied. Just in case. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to actually cheat. I'm just going to use the resource I have, my textbook and stuff like that. She didn't say anything about no open note.
Right, exactly.
So
open note. Yeah, that's fair game. That's the way to go.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, get something to eat, get to sleep, man.
Last thing I want to say, yeah, Twitter, do that.
YouTube.
If you haven't listened to the last episode, do that. YouTube,
that's a great episode.
All that nonsense. Two in the Cooler. That's pretty much our name on everything. Two brothers, two viewpoints.
Have to think about it?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm getting 2 brothers, 2 viewpoints, two in the cooler. And what I will leave you on, Andrew, is if you were to die right now, where would you end up? I want you to sleep on that.
You don't want to know.
We'll talk about it again next episode. Thanks, guys, for listening. Hope everybody has a good week. Stay safe. Whole 9. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Get out of here. See ya.